Now, in the attack on the World Trade Center, more than 300 firefighters lost their lives. And today, we're still seeing the devastating impact of those attacks on those who did initially survive. As Jason Carroll reports, new data reveals that nearly the same amount of firefighters have died of 9/11 related illnesses as those who lost their lives on that tragic day.
I think we just miss him. He was just always present in everything we did.
Jim Brozzi says not a day has gone by where he has not thought about his father.
If you were speaking to him, you were the only person in the world he was talking to. And he was as good as they come.
His father, Lieutenant Joe Brozzi, a veteran of the New York City Fire Department for more than 3 decades, died this past February 3rd after a long battle with stage 4 lung cancer. Doctors gave him months to live after his diagnosis in 2015. He gave this moving interview to the FDNY in 2019.
Nothing's impossible, it just hasn't been done yet. You have to believe that you're going to beat it. If you believe, it will happen.
Lieutenant Joseph Brozzi, Engine 88, February 3rd, 2023.
Brozzi's name, one of 43 added to the FDNY World Trade Center Memorial Wall last week, which commemorates firefighters, paramedics, and civilian support staff who died from post-9/11 illnesses. It's the second largest group added to the memorial since it was created in 2011, when 55 names were added. The number of lives lost from post-9/11 illnesses on the wall now stands at 341, almost equaling the 343 FDNY firefighters killed that day.
That number has grown each year, and my fear is it will continue to grow.
Brozzi says his father was at ground zero on 9/11 and remained working there day in and day out. So too was New York City firefighter Daniel Foley. Foley pledged to stay at the site until his older brother Thomas, also a city firefighter, was found. Foley ended up finding his brother's body 11 days later. He continued to help with the recovery efforts for months. He died from pancreatic cancer in 2020. He was 46.
He was diagnosed with 9/11 cancer, and we talk about the fact that 9/11 not only killed Uncle Tommy, but 20 years later, killed Daddy.
The message from firefighters and their families, years after one of the darkest days in U.S. history, first responders are still suffering and dying as a result of their service.
The other thing is, it's the people who aren't dying but are sick, and they're not living, but they're alive. And no one measures that loss.
A final note, both Brozzi and his brother Joe are New York City firefighters who were also there on 9/11 working alongside their father.
Are you concerned about your health in terms of the future?
I will say I monitor my health very closely. I will not live my life in worry.